When you think of Italian motorcycles, you think of passion, style and heritage. And today we've got something that ticks every one of those boxes. It's the Moto Morini Seiemmezzo 650 SCR. A bike that blends classic scrambler style with modern performance. All wrapped in a package that could only come from Italy's legendary Moto Morini. So strap in, because today we're going to ride it, explore its features, and take a trip through the remarkable history of this iconic brand. Right away, 650 SCR stands out. It's got that rugged scrambler look, high wide handlebars, spoked wheels, a flat seat that invites you to just hop on and go, and those dual purpose tyres giving it that ready for anything vibe. But being Italian is not just about functionality. Every line, every curve is designed to make you stop and stare. Here's an interesting fact. The name Seiemmezzo means 6.5 in Italian. A nod to the 650cc parallel twin at its heart. Out on the road, the SCR is confidence inspiring. That 649cc liquid-cooled parallel twin delivers smooth linear power. Plenty for spirited rides through the countryside. And just as happy cruising at steady speeds. The seat height of 810mm strikes a nice balance. High enough for visibility and control, but not intimidating. And thanks to a comfortable riding position, you can ride this thing all day without fatigue. It's light on its feet, nimble in corners, and the wide bars make handling a joy, especially on tighter bends. And yes, it's called a scrambler, so it can handle light off-road trails with ease. Design is where Moto Morini really flexes its Italian flair. The SCR gets brushed aluminium touches, a sculpted 15-litre fuel tank, and that instantly recognisable Moto Morini logo. The high-mounted front fender and inverted forks, wire-spoked 19-inch front wheel and pure scrambler DNA. Here's another interesting fact for you. Moto Morini has always had a tradition of blending style with performance. Going back to their early race bikes in the 1930s, which were not only fast, but also works of art. Then, let's break down the tech specs for you. There's an engine, 649 liquid-cooled parallel twin, double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. And power output around 60 horsepower, with a torque of 54 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. It has a 6-speed manual transmission, and the brakes come from Brembo. So you have a twin 298mm front discs and a single 255mm rear disc, and the ABS is by Bosch. Suspension, adjustable upside down front forks and adjustable rear monoshock. Let's get to the wheels. 19-inch front, 17-inch rear, wire spoked, with a seat height of 810mm. The weight is approximately 200 kilograms, wet, and the fuel capacity in the tank is 15 litres. Those are solid numbers for a middleweight scrambler. And when you pair that with premium components like Brembo brakes and decent suspension, you know you're riding something special. So let's ride through the history of Morini. Moto Morini's story starts in Bologna, Italy, in 1937, founded by Alfonso Morini, a man who was already making waves in the motorcycle world. Initially producing small capacity machines, the brand quickly earned a reputation for performance and innovation. Before starting the company, Alfonso had been building engines for three-wheeled racing machines in the 1920s, competing in events all over Italy. At first, Moto Morini focused on small capacity motorcycles, a smart move in pre-war Italy, where lightweight, affordable bikes were in high demand. Their first model, the T125, was a 125cc two-stroke, with just enough power to get people mobile in those challenging times. World War II interrupted production, but Moto Morini kept working behind the scenes, ready to emerge stronger once the world returned to peace. After the war, Moto Morini came back with a bang. In 1946, they introduced the T125 Turismo, and that was followed by the Settebello, a name that would become legendary in Italian racing circles. In the early 1950s, Morini bikes started dominating the Italian 125cc championship, thanks in large part to their talented engineers and the legendary rider Tarquinio Provini. In 1956, Provini won the Italian championship on a Moto Morini, and just 3 years later he famously finished second in the 1959 World 250cc Championship, beating much larger teams with far greater budgets. Here's another interesting fact for you. Provini's race bikes were hand-built and tuned by Moto Morini's engineers to suit his exact riding style. Now that's true engineering for you. Now let's talk about innovation and cult classics from the 1960s to the 1970s. In the 1960s, Moto Morini became known for their four-stroke singles and beautiful engineered frames. But their real breakthrough in the consumer market came in 1971 with the launch of the 3.5 Seiemmezzo V-twin. This 344cc air-cooled 72-degree V-twin was a revelation. Light, reliable, and surprisingly quick. Riders loved it. And it gained a reputation for being one of the best handling bikes of its era. The 3.5 Sport and the 3.5 Strada models became cult favourites, especially in Britain and Europe. Moto Morini also pioneered features like Heron cylinder heads for better efficiency and kept their frames slim and agile for maximum cornering ability. Even their road bikes carried racing DNA. The 3.5 sport suspension and braking were considered top class, often outperforming bigger bikes from Japan and Germany in real world riding. The company's engineering philosophy was simple: make it light, make it precise, make it handle. That approach earned Moto Morini a loyal fan base who valued character and craftsmanship over pure horsepower numbers. Let's talk about the tough times and revival of Moto Morini from the 1980s to the 2000s. Like many European manufacturers, Moto Morini faced challenges in the 1980s as Japanese brands dominated the market. But the company's identity never disappeared, and in 2005, Moto Morini made a dramatic return with the Cosaro 1200, a muscular naked bike powered by the new 1187cc V-twin, producing over 140 horsepower. It was raw, thrilling, and unapologetically Italian. The kind of bike that reminded everyone why Moto Morini mattered. Let's talk about the modern era of Moto Morini. 2018 to today. Under new ownership, Moto Morini has entered a fresh chapter. Still designed and developed in Italy, but now with global ambitions. Their lineup includes the Escape 650 and 700 adventure bike, the Seiemmezzo 650 in STR and SCR variants, and limited run special models that keep collectors excited. Today's Moto Morini machines blend modern engineering, ABS by Bosch, Brembo brakes, LED lighting, with a soul and style that's been there since Alfonso Morini's first creations. They're proof that history isn't just something you look back on, it's something you can ride today. When you swing a leg over a Moto Morini, you're not just riding a motorcycle. You're riding nearly 9 decades of Italian innovation, racing triumphs, and uncompromising style. And the Seiemmezzo SCR 650, that's the latest chapter in a story that's still being written. Moto Morini once produced a 250cc 4-stroke engine that became famous for its reliability in endurance racing. And the company's name, Morini, comes directly from its founder. But Moto was added to differentiate from his early work in car racing engines. And many Moto Morini designs were influenced by Italian aviation engineering of the 1930s and 40s. And the Seiemmezzo SCR's frame design is a modern evolution of Moto Morini's historic tubular steel frames. Moto Morini motorcycles were once exported in very limited numbers, making older models highly collectible today. The Moto Morini Seiemmezzo 650 SCR is more than just a motorcycle. It's a connection to nearly 90 years of Italian motorcycling history. It's a bike that doesn't just get you from A to B. It makes the journey unforgettable. It's got style, it's got performance, and it's got a heritage you can feel every time you twist the throttle. Whether you're riding through city streets, carving up country roads, or just parked up with a coffee while people admire it, the Seiemmezzo SCR delivers that rare combination of modern comfort and timeless charm. This is the kind of bike that makes you want to ride further, just to spend more time in the saddle. And that, ladies and gents, is the Moto Morini Seiemmezzo 650 SCR. A scrambler with real Italian heart. It's a motorcycle that looks incredible, rides beautifully, and connects you to one of the most iconic names in motorcycle history. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest reviews, rides and motorcycle adventures. Right here on All Revved Up Motorcycles. Make sure you stay tuned because we've got more Moto Morini reviews coming soon to the channel, including the sporty Seiemmezzo STR, the rugged Escape 650 Adventure, and even the brand new 700 adventure bikes. You don't want to miss what's next. And if you'd like to see these stunning motorcycles in person, make sure to call in to the All Revved Up showroom. We'd love to show you around, get you up close with the bikes, and maybe even help you find your next dream ride. This has been All Revved Up Motorcycles. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Just a minute.